And we are live. Mary, what do you see? And we have, hi Mary, how are you? I'm just, just a little scattered today. And then we have our special guest, Rosalia, who, our astrology expert here. Yes. Owner and founder of Soul Food Fitness, and returning and kicking off a regular appearances on our show to help us out and share some astrology and her knowledge. And so, how you doing, Mary?
Hey, I'm good. Hey, and you know what? Welcome to the weekly team, Rosalia. She's going to be an integral part of our team moving forward. So every week it's either going to be astrology, tarot, psychic weigh-in with the best of us, Jason, myself. And so, you know, welcome aboard, Rosalia.
Barbara, the tarot mistress, will be in and out too.
Well, right, she will. Yeah. Giving more instructions, and
that was. I have to say that was a really. That was a good show.
Wasn't that? Oh man, she is.
I got like some positive feedback on just the way that she presented really well.
Yep. Absolutely. I love having Barbara on. I really do. And so today we have the master astrologist. That's what I like to refer her as. She's a psychic, tarot. She does astrology. Do we have her?
Her book?
Yeah. Well, you have her book? I have her book right here, but the card,
I have here
the slide. Yeah. So she's a writer, journalist. Guys, when I was named to the top 10 in the world, she's the reason. Right here, she's the reason. And then Jason Googled it. Now I'm like number 2. Thanks,
Google. Yeah, Google has you up in the top 2.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then I also want to learn about Reiki from you as well, Rosalia. I think that would be great. She's a holistic nutritionist, cognitive specialist. She's got her own business called soulfoodfitness.ca, which stands for Canada, a yoga teacher and a personal trainer. And you can book a session with her, www.linko.com, Rosebud. Yeah.
You can also book the session by going to the website to soulfoodfitness.ca.
Yeah, and this is her book. 500 pages. It's a great workbook. I'm telling you guys, anything you ever wanted to know, it's bigger than the screen. Anything you wanted to know, it's in here. So I'm so glad you're back. We got a lot of positive feedback the last time you were here. And so don't we have a disclaimer we have to do, a copyright disclaimer or something?
I didn't put it up. I can.
Oh, well, that's okay. Hey, you know what?
You can do it, because we do have a couple readings, but yeah.
Right. If we use copyrighted material, we'll give you credit for it.
Just that and fair use.
Fair use, right?
Fair use.
So
yeah.
You can look it up somewhere. You can look it up somewhere.
You can Google it, but fair use. We said it.
Right. Yeah. And then the other disclaimer is whatever you hear me say, guys, when I am interacting with spirit, you'll hear stuff come out of my mouth, and it's because I'm on the other side. So take it with a grain of salt. It is only my opinion of what spirit says, okay? And it is for entertainment purposes only. So whatever you hear come out of my mouth tonight when I'm working on cold cases, it is coming directly from spirit. And so, you know, it's for entertainment purposes only.
And haters gonna hate, and they're gonna be the ones that make you famous.
Right. Haters
keep
will
hating
hate
haters.
and make me famous. Thank you.
I don't really want to get
flowers, but I need to send flowers to all of my haters, right? Yeah. or go to, what is it? What's that big buffet? Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
And all my haters a gift certificate to Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
Yeah,
I don't know. Most of them are in the UK though, Mary. I don't know if they have that over there.
I'll find the biggest, fattest buffet over there and send them. You know, I know if they eat there every week, they won't be around for much longer. So anyway, oh, Rosalia, you're getting cold.
No. I'm just scratching my skin. It got itchy.
Oh,
and I was rubbing and all that good stuff.
So we're going to learn about astrology, something that just blows my mind every time I look at it, because I'm like, what does that mean? Where is that? Because we've never had somebody just absolutely pinpoint it out like you're going to do. So, and who should, what are the different types? There's Vedic astrology. I don't understand that. What are, do you know some of the different astrologies that are out? Like, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I offer several astrologies during my sessions with clients. I use Western the most because Western, in my opinion, is the astrology chart of the person that needs to be mastered first. It's like the avatar. It's your personality, it's your behavior patterns, it's your psychology. It's everything that you were born with as a strength and a weakness that you need to overcome in this life. So I always feel that before you touch on any other astrology, Western is the best one to start with. And then Vedic astrology is more, it stems from Hinduism, and it's more focused on Dharma. So I believe that Western astrology is more of like your karmic chart. Like once you master the avatar that you've been fated with based off of the snapshot of the sky, Vedic astrology is the next step where you would seek enlightenment in yourself. So you would go deep into your soul to find enlightenment, and Vedic astrology shows your dharmic self. So it's like the signs kind of change. So let's say, for example, I have Jupiter and Venus in Virgo in my Western astrology. And so my avatar, like my karmic duty, my psychology is to be like a Virgo when it comes to my health, my wellness, and the way that I love myself and how I create money, because it's Jupiter is all about money and Venus is all about love, and Virgo is all about body, home, and environment and health and routine. But in Vedic astrology, my Jupiter and my Venus are in Leo, and Leo is like this passionate, vibrant energy, strong-willed, courageous, all in the fire, and also has a strong public persona, succeeded against a lot of inner turmoils. So if I release or I shed that kind of identity from the Western astrology, so my Virgo personality, when I find enlightenment in myself and I shed all of those attachments and I reach my soul or my spirit self, then I embody like the highest version of a Leo, for example. So that's how I see Vedic astrology. Plus, Vedic astrology is also has a lot of stories behind it, like nakshatras and like samadhis, and like these are all Hinduism beliefs of like reaching enlightenment and communicating with deities and having rituals, for example, to enhance certain health aspects or marriages or relationships. So it's more of like an astrology of worship. I also find too that, well, this is actually true, Vedic astrology, astrological constellations are a lot more aligned with the true astronomy in the sky. Like if Saturn is really in Aquarius, when you look up with NASA, then it will also show that in Vedic. While Western is more based on tropical, so seasonal. So there is a little bit of a few degrees difference. And as a result, we're all kind of future thinking in Western astrology. So that's why it's so psychological. It's all mental stimulated. Well, Dharma is all like internal and soul. Vedic is all like Dharma and internal and soul. And then you have esoteric astrology, which is my favorite, and I actually combine that with Western astrology. Esoteric astrology is more like intuitive astrology, so it's actually how I read charts, like very
Okay.
intuitively. So I use my psychic abilities in my sessions with tarot cards, and I read the astrology chart like that, so I intuitively kind of interpret what I see. And esoteric astrology is I'm trying to see how I can explain this properly. Esoteric astrology is closer to Carl Jung principles. Like Carl Jung principles has the idea where the first half of your life you go from the first house and you traverse all the way to the 12th house, adding on and utilizing beliefs of your communal beliefs, your parental beliefs, your fight or flight responses based off your community, your emotional responses. You basically are accumulating and learning each house, so each stage in your life, and you're gathering until you hit the 12th house. And then when you hit the 12th house, esoteric astrology teaches you that you hit the 12th house, you're halfway through your life, let's say, and the second half of your life, you're working backwards. You go from your 12th house all the way around to your first house, and you're shedding everything that you've accumulated in order to reach self-individuation, so enlightenment, but also integration of your shadow, your light, because then you've gone through all the stages of your life, you've mastered every sector of your life, and now you can move backwards and be more present and in control of those sectors in your life, knowing exactly what you need to do at each step. So that's esoteric astrology. It's really it's more intuitive, but also deeper. Like you're looking at each house more spiritually. Like, how are you connecting with your partners? What can you change? How can you improve? There's more focus on growth and development, and not so much of like a fixed personality trait or character. So that's esoteric. And then there's medical astrology too. Yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, so there's like more like you're pulling from a lot more resource, or like a broader, like not so fixed, like this or this, like going off a chart where you actually have more to kind of like work with.
Yeah,
Reference.
yeah.
Okay.
It's deeper. There's more depth.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope I'm explaining it. And then medical astrology is more like focused on your health. So you relate astrology and health together. So let's say for example, like we're in the month of Gemini right now. So Gemini, goes arms, hands, lungs, nervous system. So Geminis tend to have nervous minds or brains or whatever.
Squirrel brain.
True.
Yeah. Yeah,
Squirrels in the brain.
yeah. So they're more likely to have like ADHD or stress or any of that stuff. So so they would be encouraged to, let's say, relax more, or like, nurture their mind.
1 0. That's my ADHD brain. I'm trying to do 100%. Okay, never mind.
Anyway,
No, I got it after a couple of examples there.
Emma heard me.
So
sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So go ahead, Rosalia.
No, it's good.
What about Geminis?
Yeah. So medical astrology teaches you more about like your health and like where you would need to focus to be healthier. And in your house, like what focus would be best for your body, mind, and spiritual health, etc. So, and what foods to eat, and what lifestyle practices to practice, what exercises to do. So that would be medical astrology. So yeah, there's different types.
All of the above, what not to eat and why I haven't been.
Yeah.
Right. So tonight we're gonna delve into astrology. Okay, so in our series of You Have a Gift, and last week it was Barbara, how do you manifest these gifts? How would you start with astrology? Do you have to be psychic to do astrology, or do you think it actually helps having a gift to do astrology?
I don't think that you need to be a psychic to do astrology, but it definitely helps if you are, like, because it enhances the reading.
Right.
But there are a lot of amazing astrologers that I have listened to that are very intellectual, and they are interpreting like precise aspects and like houses based on signs, because it's all explained. Like it's a pseudoscience, but there's a lot of alignment between astronomy and astrology, because uh, psychologically we have had time to interpret people's movements and behavior patterns based off the patterns of the stars in the sky. So
Right.
there is an amazing alignment there. So you don't have to be psychic in order to interpret a chart. And when you're interpreting an astrology chart, it's all hypothetical. Like there's a lot of truth in it, but it's also like an analysis. Like when you're observing, let's say, today we're going to look at Donald Trump. Like if we're looking at Donald Trump and we're looking at his chart, and when we dive in, I'm going to be saying things. I know nothing about Donald Trump. I'm just letting you guys know. I'm going into this, like, completely objective. I know nothing about him. I don't enjoy politics.
I don't.
I don't want to be, even though
I don't play that game. I don't play the game.
Yeah, yes, but I will objectively read the chart, and it's fun to do that because then people interpret it based off of the alignment of like where they are in their lives, and like does it make sense, and like it explains why they do certain things. But for example, like I've had readings with clients where like I've had like two political people that I wasn't able to, I don't know their names or anything like that, but I was screen to screen, like on chat, talking to a political person that needed to know like the strategy of another political person, and I pull up the astrology chart because it dives deep into their personality, and as a result like how that person thinks and what kind of moves they might make, so in some way like they can better prepare themselves. So astrology is like, it's like the secret way to like knowing a person's actions and what they might how they might relate to somebody, or what moves they might make on a bigger scale, or like who they're going to be and why. But it's also a good opportunity to look at people's like unconscious, like inner child wounds, and what makes them to be like what for a reason. Like if you were to look at an astrology chart of like a murderer, let's say, or a serial killer, or a criminal, or of any sorts, you would probably be able to find like a lot of abuse in the chart, or like strong inner wounds that would lead them to that action. So, but being a psychic definitely helps, because like if you're reading the chart intuitively, like I like to do, then it blends really well, right?
Okay. All right. So do you have a chart to start off with? Take a step because we're babies. We know nothing about. There you go. Great picture. Yeah.
Yeah,
You shall look like that. That's a great picture. Oh my God, that looks like math. I can't do math.
Do you want to bring them up on yours, Rosalia? Okay, here. This way you can kind of.
I just put the.
Here, let me Here, I think I have to do that, and then you do that. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, let's start with Donald Trump because I have him up, and we can do Prince William and Katie Middleton later, because I think that it needs to be together for them.
Right.
Okay, cool. So let's like start with basic astrology. So you have your houses. Okay. So for example, your first house is right here. And your first house is the house of self and personality. It's your ego personality. It's your persona. It's how people see you. It's also what you embody. And your first house is a very powerful house. But as you notice, Donald Trump has absolutely no planets in theirs. But
Right. It's
yeah,
blank. It's
yeah,
blank.
it's blank. But in some way, that makes him very lucky because it's kind of like a black hole and an empty space, in which that he attracts a lot of energies to him, to his ego, to his self, his personality. And it's ruled by Virgo. So this is the sign of Virgo in his first house of self and personality. So he attracts, and Virgo is like the Queen of Pentacles, like very receptive, abundant, and secure. So if he embodies a very strong routine in his first half of life, then he will attract a lot of wealth. And it's also from his mother too, because it's a mother energy, feminine energy. So if he learned how to be practical and take care of his body, home, and environment early in his life, and he masters this personality, then he would attract a lot of people to him.
Okay, so first house is okay, so what is technically a house?
Oh, that's a good question. So your house is like your life event. It's like your life event. It's like
okay.
It's like a part of your personality, but like a part of your life. So
okay.
Self and personality is the ego. It's your identity. It's who you are. It's not fully who you are. It's your persona. It's like your facade. You know what I mean? It's your identity.
Okay.
He doesn't really have a strong identity here. So you might notice him changing personalities or changing identities or changing the way that he sees himself, for example. Every time that he changes the way he sees himself, then other people see him differently too. Because it's empty, he has the opportunity to attract multiple different types of personalities into his life.
Well, he's a Gemini. He's a Gemini.
Yeah. He's sun in Gemini right here in his 10th house of career and public persona. So
Wow, it's blank.
Yeah, his 10th house is open right here. It has 3 planets.
Okay, so where do you go from the first house?
From the first house, you go to the second house. And this is the second house right here. And look at this mind-blowing house. So the second house is the house of financial stability. It's ruled by, let's take a step back. The first house is ruled by Aries, traditionally, okay? First house is ruled by Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's the baby zodiac. It's the Fool. It's the Emperor. It's the newborn, okay?
Wow.
But for him, it's ruled by Virgo, okay? The second house traditionally is ruled by Taurus, but for him, it's ruled by Virgo/Libra, depending on which degree it's at. But for him, it's mostly dominant in Libra. The second house is about financial stability. It's about security. It's about how you ground your material world. It is focused on your self-worth, your value, your morals, your traditions, like a huge belief system house. And it's your society house. It's like the society you create, the culture you create, the devotion you create, the discipline you create. And he has 3 planets in here.
Okay.
And his most important planet is Jupiter. And Jupiter is the planet of abundance and expansion and wealth. And he has it in his house of financial stability and security. So this guy is destined, to be wealthy.
What are those other symbols behind that?
Yeah, so this one here is Chiron. And Chiron is the wounded healer. So any kind of pain or painful experience he had in his childhood, or in relationships, but mostly in reference to his probably traditional roots because of the second house. So let's say, for example, like he was beaten when he was young. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just reading the chart. let's say, for example, the rules were really strict at home, or he grew up in a very traditional home, or there's a lot of rich ancestral blood in this second house, and he has Chiron in Libra. So if he overcomes this pain, in order to bring justice to his pain, he manifests that in his own life moving forward. So finding some kind of structure, basically projecting his own belief systems onto others or onto the world in order to find justice based off of the pain that he had when he was younger. So his wealth is created from the insignificance he felt when he was younger in the second house of financial stability and self-worth and value. So if he felt undervalued when he was younger, then he overcompensated that in his as he got older in order to find wealth.
Okay. Wow, that explains a lot.
Can I, just real quick, does it go counterclockwise then, the houses from the start?
Yeah, it goes from 1 to 12. We're reading.
Okay, but it goes in a counterclockwise, is it? Okay. Ordered,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
He also has Neptune in Libra. So this might assume that he grew up in a religious home in Libra. So there may have been some kind of like harsh, his mother may have been harsh on him because Libra is ruled by the justice in the tarot, and justice is the mother who punishes or gives blessings based off of the child's experience, based off of psychology. So tarot psychology. But so it suggests that he may have grown up in a very strict, traditional, spiritual home that had a lot of rules. But a lot
that would make sense why Baron he's so strict with Baron.
I don't know.
His son.
Oh
no, he's very, very, very strict.
Oh, okay.
It's I think it's a generational thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And both these planets are retrograde, like the Jupiter and the Neptune are both retrograde, which means that everything is done in the home, which means that it's not seen outside. People don't.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Facades.
It fits the elite MO.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You never know. Once they walk outside that front door, you would never know.
Yeah. Yep. You don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like I need some.
What? Need what? Need what?
I need some spray.
Oh my God, where is mine? Oh, in my purse.
Wait, I don't mean to cut you off. Are we at a good pausing moment? Rosalia?
What?
Can we take a 1 minute second break for a commercial? Okay, hold on 1 sec.
Where is my spray? Oh,
hold on. It's 12 seconds.
Have you been around negative people or in a negative environment? Frankie and Lord's Apothecary Cleanser Spray is a must. Just one spray to make the negativity go away. Available at marythemedium.com.
Talking about Donald Trump. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, fucking killed me.
Can I tell a quick story? Can I tell a quick story? So I was in the Trump Towers, okay, back in like 2016, and so I was one penthouse below Trump's. Hope you're watching, Donald. I don't hope that you're watching. One penthouse, like, the penthouse below Donald Trump's. And I was there with my employers. And so we're walking out into the lobby, and there's the Donald with his entourage who are like all lined up, walking behind him. And he stops and he turns and he looks at us and he goes, and he trips and he falls like onto the person that was walking in front of him. And they all like domino effect, bam, 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 bam. And he goes, beautiful. I said, did you hear that, Mr. So-and-so? Donald Trump just called you beautiful. And he goes, he wasn't talking about me, Mary. And then when I'm upstairs, I'm taking the trash out, okay? And you have to walk down the hallway past the elevators, and it's all glass, okay? And so there were Secret Service hanging out in the trash room. So I opened the door, I'm like, boo! And I scared not a good thing to do. I scared the Secret Service, and I said, just kidding. I just wanted to make sure you were in here. He goes, yes, ma'am, we're in here. I said, well, that's good. And so I'm walking back by, and then all of a sudden I hear the elevator go ding. And so I stopped. Something made me stop, and it was Donald Trump, the Donald, in the elevator with more Secret Service, and the door opens. And he looks at me. He does this turkey neck thing like this, you know, with the eyes, you know. And I said, when the door opened and all these men were standing there and he's in the middle of it, I go, oh, hey, guys. And then and he smiles, and then the elevator door closes. I'm like, you're stalking me.
That's
I've
terrible.
heard he's a really nice. I've heard he's a nice guy.
He is a very nice man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, but, you know, what do you say to the president? Hi, guys. wrong thing to say. But very nice guy. I'm not kidding you. Nice guy. Very nice guy. Very welcoming. I mean, and that was my experience.
Hey, Jonna.
And you met him in real life.
I met him several times in real life. Nice guy. I'm not kidding you. You know, a lot of people will say, well, how can you agree with his I'm not saying anything about his politics. I'm saying this man was so nice to me. So anyway, yeah. So that was my quick, 2-minute story. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it was good. It's exactly what I needed. What do you want to know next?
Why the third house is empty?
Oh yeah. Well, why? It's just what he was born with, right? But
Okay.
the third house is the house of communication, and it's ruled by Gemini traditionally. And so it's all about how you communicate, how you think. It's also your friendship and your networking house, like how you communicate with others, your friend groups. These friends that you make here are like part of your root chakra, your foundation, etc. And you like you create your truth here, like your experiences in this house. And it's empty, so I mean, it just means that there's not that much energy there. Maybe he didn't have a lot of friends when he was younger. His focus was more family. Or if he did have friends, then it was just like very close friends.
Okay.
I do feel like he was a bit shy when he was younger because he has a lot of Cancer placements in his 11th house, and he might still be shy, and that might show that he communicates mostly with his colleagues or people that he's really close with, and not so much in social circles. He's a lot older now, so obviously he's had life experience and stuff. Early in life, he may have not been as communicative in his social circles, from what I can see here. Quite empty. But it is an opportunity to attract people, like wherever stage he was in life, because the house is empty, there is an opportunity to attract the right people. His fourth house, I found really interesting. This is the South Node, pretty sure. Let me just double check. I always mess up the nodes. Yeah, it's the South Node, and it's in Cancer, and I find that quite an auspicious brain fart. Happens. because he has Lilith in Sagittarius, South Node in Sagittarius, and the Moon in Sagittarius. So that's a lot of conjunctions to have, which means that there's a lot of intensity in the home. So when he was younger, or just in general in home, like there may have been this quest for freedom or desire for freedom, because Sagittarius is a very free-spirited sign, an adventurous sign. And he may have had to often face the pain of his family, the pain in himself, addictions, guilt, shame, attachments, deeply rooted bounds, in order to free himself. But this is a South Node, so these are like the lessons of his past life. And he feels that on a really deep emotional level, the Moon, which is his thoughts and emotions, so deep feminine desires to be free. But that amplifies and really helps his North Node in opposition to come out of his shell and be less in the body, and free in the body, and more communicative, talkative, in the 10th house of career. So, and public persona. So this actually, it makes a lot of sense now, because I hear a lot of things about him being just very impulsive in his speech. So now I understand why, because his South Node Sagittarius placement is his comfort zone, and Sagittarius is a fire sign. Sagittarius is very impulsive, vibrant, instinctive in the body, doesn't need to talk, just acts based off how they feel, and very magnetic and vibrant, etc. Sagittarius does what they need to do. They fake it till they make it. Like they will play the part. They are like the actor, the entertainer, the persona, you know? So he's really good at entertaining. But his challenge and obstacle in this life was to become more clear and communicative like a Gemini, and more outgoing and social, even though his sun is in Gemini. But that's his motivation in life too, which is incredibly powerful. Like 3 planets like this in his 10th house of career, like, oh my God. And always says unexpected, because he's got Uranus here, and Uranus is the planet of unexpected events, like the awakener. Uranus.
Right.
So he says things that shock people because they're out of nowhere.
Okay.
He doesn't even have to give them much thought. It's like his body feels it, and then he says it.
Okay.
So that's
Right. Yeah.
that's in his 10th house.
I identify with that.
So that's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. So so that's cool, and it's in his 10th house of career and public persona. So that's how people see him too.
Okay, so tell me, what are these lines in the middle of the circle?
Yeah. So these are aspects, and they either make the planets weaker, they either intensify, or they create tension, or they create weakness, or they create easiness. So this is an opposition here.
Okay.
So his past life, like his South Node is 4th house. So his family, because this is the house of home and family, his family creates some difficulty when it comes to pursuing his career. So he's probably very obligated to his responsibilities at home. And sometimes that holds him back from being more career oriented and out in the light, which is his motivation in life. So he might struggle to find balance between the two. He's a lot older now. Like he's 80 years old now, right? So, but I'm sure on his way to reach his 10th house, that probably was a difficult thing to master. Like he has to constantly go between the South Node and the North Node, so the 4th house and the 10th house. So his home and family, and feeling emotionally safe and protecting his family, and being out in the limelight in his 10th house of career. And also another thing is, or I'm looking at now, is whatever dark difficulties he's dealing with at home. So let's say, for example, like at home he has like tension or difficulty or problems, then that will affect his 10th house, which is his career. So he might out of stress say things that are like really like out of nowhere because of like any tension that he's dealing with at home. So that does affect his career. So he has to find balance in that. It's basically black and white. The oppositions are like finding the balance between darkness and light.
Okay.
And so that's this line in between.
Okay, so the other one looks like Spaghetti Junction in Atlanta, the interstate system. So what are those other lines?
Which one? Which one? The purple one?
Everything on the left-hand side.
Yeah. So he has a lot of triangles here, and these are quite weak aspects, but also easy aspects. All of these ones, because there's so many triangles, like I think there's like 3 here, he might actually be a little bit lazy when it comes to how he generates his income and his 10th house in career, which means that it came a little bit easy to him. I don't know if that's true or not, but it feels like it came a little bit easy, or he didn't have to try too hard in order to accumulate wealth.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, because triangles are like very easy and lighthearted, but can also be very lazy too. So
that's what triangles are. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the triangles. But they're quite auspicious, like very beneficial. Too many can create laziness, but you don't have to try too hard to make things happen for you. Then he has 1 square here, and squares are tension. Like it's very difficult to get through. Like squares, like I look at squares like prisons. They're like prisons that you are having to juggle in between, and it creates tension. And he has 1 here. I think this is his Mercury in Cancer. And Mercury is the planet of communication. It's the planet of the way that you think, your thought patterns. Your thought patterns, the way that you communicate, the way that you think, and the way you express yourself. And it's in Cancer, and Cancer is a very emotional sign. It's a very sensitive sign. It's a very nurturing sign. So he communicates his feelings, like he communicates from his heart.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a square here, which with Neptune in Libra. And Neptune is the planet of spirituality and imagination and fantasies. So there could be some elusive talk, or he might have trouble bringing what he feels on a spiritual astral level into his expression on a daily life. Like he might struggle to say what he truly feels, or what he truly sees, or what he truly means. So that could make things look very illusionary or elusive or delusional.
Okay. All right.
Very sensitive to external esoteric energies, metaphysical, which can create like a lot of fantasies, imagination, creativity, but also tension because of the square. So difficulty aligning the two, expressing that clearly and groundedly.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. And the rest look kind of slim to none. Looking at his other houses.
These ones here?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are all empty, and it makes sense. Like he's a man of power. Like the 10th, 11th, and 12th house. Like those are like he has Pluto and Leo, and this is the generation of power, and he has Pluto and Leo here. So like he's meant to be in the limelight. Like his motivation and drive is to be in the limelight, is to be in power, is to change the game. Like it's to change the 12th house.
Okay.
And this is the 11th house is the house of community. So it's all like creating a society, basically. Like he's creating a society with these houses. This house here, like all of these empty ones, this is the 7th house of love and relationships. So he doesn't have to have love and relationships or business partnerships. It's not like a focus of his in this life, but he might attract a lot of it because it's empty. This is the 8th house of death and sex and transformation and occult and magic and shared resources. So it's not prominent. It's ruled by Aries for him. So there might be some need to look at like his father, for example. Like there might be a need to learn from his father in order to understand his eighth house. So if he needs to understand how to share resources, or if he needs to understand how to be more connected to magic or sex or death or the occult or transformation and change, learning how to evolve, like evolving from his belief systems, for example, he'd have to look at his father or authority or father figures, etc. So that's a good opportunity given that a lot of planets in Taurus. So the opposite of Taurus is Scorpio, which is the eighth house. So every time that he changes things, he has to look at his father or the leaders of this world or authority figures or any kind of like self-made structures, for example.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's empty. So it's all determined on how much money or stability or security and justice can he create, because this is a strong sense of justice, all of this Libra here. So he has a lot of strong sense of justice, diplomacy, philanthropy. I can't say that.
Philanthropy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Philanthropy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's not for me, that word.
Philanthropy.
I do a lot of that, but I cannot say the word. Yeah. And then the ninth house here is also empty, the house of spirituality. So he skipped a lot of steps. He skipped a lot of steps in order to get to the 10th house of career. It's almost like it's like basically his first half is his first half of the life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once he hit the 6th house of daily routine and service, and he gained fortune by speaking his truth in some way. And as soon as he gained his fortune, he basically skipped all the way to the 10th house of career and public persona. So as soon as he gained his wealth, he took the leap into politics.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay.
Based off of the chart, yeah.
Okay, so what are the outer rings? Those are the planets, or
this year?
Yeah.
This is more esoteric, but I love that Astro Gold, which is an app that I use, have it. I actually recently discovered it. So the zodiacs here, this is what the house is ruled by for this person. So for example, in his 10th house, his 10th house of public persona and career is ruled by Gemini.
Okay.
And Gemini is a very social and outgoing sign. So if he embodies the Gemini personality in his 10th house, he will be successful in this house. He will be successful in his 10th house of career and public persona and politics.
Okay, where that arrow is, what are those numbers? 22, 20, 17 degrees, it looks like. In the 10th house, you know, as you go down.
Oh, here?
No, go down.
Oh, here?
What are those? Yeah.
Right. So this is just where in the house the planets are located. Basically, there's 30 degrees in each house.
Okay.
And a planet transits each degree and before it gets to the next house. But this is the degree that it landed in. So for him, like, for example, his sun in Gemini, his sun in his 10th house of career is at 22 degrees. So it's just on the edge before it hits the 11th house. It just means that he is a third decan Gemini, which means that he is a more experienced Gemini in this life, has a lot more wisdom as a Gemini.
Okay.
For example, let's say he was born like a 2nd degree Gemini and he was like right here.
Okay.
He would be like learning how to be a Gemini in this life. Like he's not yet too sure how to be one, so he makes a lot of like immature Gemini mistakes, for example. So it's like that kind of thing.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Why is it that most of Donald Trump, King Charles, they're all Geminis? Why is it that a lot of rulers are Geminis?
I mean, I don't have the answer to that question.
I should run for office.
You don't want that, Mary. That I don't know.
No, I can't. Yeah.
Oh,
Ugh, no. Mm-mm.
I'm at cesspit of DC.
Right, the cesspit. Right. So, and now what are these things at the very, very bottom? The very bottom of the screen that go horizontal?
What are you talking about?
I think
This?
that's
No, further down.
oh, that's
Yeah,
just
what are-
This not the chart. It's just the.
Oh, never mind.
It's just the picture, like of the.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Okay, go ahead.
No, I love when you interrupt. It's good. Balance. You want me to continue? Okay.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Well, let me see what else I missed here of Donald Trump. Oh, also another important thing, MC and IC. So his MC, which is this top of this arrow here, is in his 9th house, which is ruled by Taurus.
What is MC? MC.
MC is your midheaven.
Okay.
And your midheaven is how you present yourself externally.
Okay.
People see you this way. It's very similar to your 10th house of career and public persona, and that's why it's in your 9th and your 10th house.
Okay.
But it's based off of your spiritual upbringing. Like it's based off of your spirituality, like the way that you interact with educators and how you learn and how you teach, and it blends well with your career and public persona and how you put yourself out there. So he puts himself out there like a Taurus, like that's
Okay.
how he needs to be.
Okay.
So he's more like secure and stable and fine, like a king of pentacles in the tarot. So like an investor, for example, a very rich guy. People see him like a really rich guy or a businessman, right? They see him as a businessman.
Yeah.
Taurus right there. And then his
Okay.
IC is in Scorpio, which is his home. So the IC is the home, and the IC is like what people don't see. It's like your most comfortable self, and he has it in Scorpio, which actually when I looked at this last night, I was like, oh, is this guy into like magic and like metaphysical, because it's his comfortable place to be, like in the home.
Really? Okay.
But nobody knows that except those that can see him traverse into their dimensional space. So
Okay.
so even though he has the 8th house empty of occult and magic and transformation, which is ruled by Scorpio, almost like he understands that in order to hide from his father, he keeps it incredibly internal. It's
Okay.
like his way of hiding from authority or bosses or rulers, leaders
Okay.
through this kind of magical esoteric realm, because it's in the IC here. So it's like very deep place. And it's his home, so where he feels most comfortable, where he can like flow with his emotions and transform and change and be sensual and sexual and magical and psychic.
Wow. So you think he's psychic?
I mean, I personally would find it very hard to believe that he wasn't, because
Okay.
because
Yeah.
to have the IC in Scorpio and the MC in Taurus, like that is a really powerful
Yeah.
like it's just he's really good at hiding it, and he learned that from his father or leader in his life. And this is a comfortable placement that it's impossible for me to believe that he wouldn't be.
Okay, gotcha.
So
okay,
he's just really good at not showing it, or only showing it to certain people.
yeah. Okay, yeah, because
But this is a placement of like astral traveling and like dream world and like things like that.
Oh, that's so cool. This is so interesting.
Yeah, Barry was giving you a sign.
Right.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, Donald needs a personal psychic. I'm there.
Yeah, you think
You're right. I'll rewrite my prediction list, people. if he calls me. Okay, so how does one begin doing this? How did you begin, Rosalia?
I mean, I did start reading I started as a psychic, like a tarot reader, and then I just I started on Kasamba, like the psychic platform, and we actually had to do an astrology course.
Available on Amazon.
And I actually just ended up diving into it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to get this book. I'm not kidding.
I mean, it just really aligns with what I do. I find that like I use astrology as the foundation in my business, because I find that when I know people's astrology chart, I can help them with their health. I can help them with their exercise regime, because I know what's best for them based on their sign.
Right.
And I find that it's just a really good way to help people, and like it helps them with their relationships and like their blocks and obstacles and limitations and anything that they need to work on when it comes to their own belief systems. And it also helps people love themselves more, because when they look at their chart, they're like, oh, this is why I act this way, or this is why I think this way. Like, you know?
Oh, do me next.
Love this.
No. Oh my gosh. I would be so afraid to find out, to be honest with you. But no, I just think it's absolutely fascinating, and to see a world leader with a lot of empty houses, and how a lot of it actually relates back to his dad. He may be psychic, and that he was destined to be a powerful, rich man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. With this Pluto and Leo placement, wow, that's quite the power, and his big desire for justice.
Wow, yeah, that's incredible.
Really had to skip all of this. Like he skipped all of this nonsense.
That's wow. So so we have only a couple of minutes left.
Yeah.
So do you want me to do those twins that were found murdered really quick?
Yeah, we could do that. I mean,
and I'll ask you too, Rosalia, what you see.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure.
That was look, okay, gotta remember. Okay, hold on.
This was sent to us by Giovanna, who is these two twins were found outside of their hometown on a mountain, both deceased. And do we have their names, Jason?
Hold on, I do.
Yeah.
Hold on, give me one sec. I think I screenshotted it.
And this is kind of near and dear to my heart, because these are twins, and I was not a twin. But they were found murdered miles away from their home. And so police are saying suicide, and I'm like, no, guys. The very first thing that Spirit showed me was that they were lured there or taken there. I saw a third person. Here,
Mary, I'm sending it, texting you their name.
Oh, okay. All right.
And you can try to pronounce it.
Yeah, what's their name? I'm going to pull a card for each person.
Kadir Malik Lewis and Nazir Rahim Lewis. And they were from Lawrenceville, a subdivision of Atlanta. I know Lawrenceville. The teens had planned to fly to Boston to visit their friends on the morning of March 7th, but 24 hours later, they were found dead in what? I can't read the rest of it. They're 24 on a hill, a mountain or something.
Mhm.
And so I feel like they were lured to this place by a third person. Police, if you're watching this, this was not suicide. They were murdered.
I can't believe you did this stuff, Mary.
And I feel like now they arrested this white guy who was a firefighter who took pictures of their murder scene and shared it. He shared the pictures. Okay.
Oh, wow.
With who? I don't know, his friends. But I got the white firefighter. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only, and what Spirit shows, it's only my opinion. I believe he was racist and he enjoyed seeing 2 black kids dead. Yeah, I said it. They were murdered. I believe this firefighter had something to do with this. I believe these kids were set up.
Did they arrest the firefighter? Or?
They did arrest the firefighter. He was fired. Do we have his picture?
Was that the? I think. Hold on.
The white guy. Yeah, this guy, right? Oof. Wow, take his picture off. Ooh, I'm hiding it. I'm hiding it.
Well, that was hard to look at.
Yeah, Rosalia couldn't even look at it, guys. I feel like
that was.
It's a hatred. It's a racist hatred here. Okay, this was a hate murder crime. Are you okay, Rosalia?
No, it just took me by surprise. Like I wasn't expecting myself to react that way. So
yeah, and I didn't react well either. And there's a reason for that. This was a hatred, racist crime. They didn't even show the murder scene pictures to the family. Okay. Wow. Yeah. But yet this.
It's just fire trucks.
It's another murder in Canada. So that's my thought. That's my thought. That the police need to rearrest this white firefighter or ex-firefighter, because I have a feeling that there is a group that he shared these pictures with, okay, that had something to do with the murder of these 2 young black men, these beautiful twins. My opinion from Spirit. Do we have did you want to pull a card?
Yeah, I'll pull a card. I want to pull a card for the firefighter and the 2 kids.
Okay.
So I'll just pull one for the firefighter. Can you show me the firefighter?
Can we do the I'm not going to look, but if you could put him back up on the screen.
Do you want me to put him up?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll look at him. Bad.
Well, I'll count. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll count to 5.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's fine. Yeah.
All right.
And then what's the kid's what's the first kid's name? Yeah, he put the sunglasses on.
I don't know. Were they twins?
On the left,
they were identical twins. Kadir Malik is the first name, and Nazir Rahim is the second. And I asked if their religion was Muslim, if they were Muslim, and the gal Giovanna said no.
This guy's intentions towards these 2.
Now, is that high school or college graduate? They weren't very old.
No, they weren't. They were babies. This is a racist crime. Hate crime.
So I did get the Three of Cups for the firefighter, which does presume that that's a third party.
Okay.
There's the Three of Cups, and it shows that he wanted them to cooperate. They wanted the second boy here, to cooperate.
Right.
So he may have presented himself as a friend or like someone that they could trust.
Mm-hmm.
And it did show that this firefighter was moving on from disappointments and pain from his past, and he was trying to create new relationships of some sort. So it could have been like a facade or a persona for them to cooperate. It does show that the second kid here, the one on the right,
Mm-hmm.
he was oh, here comes another fire truck.
Nazir is the
I'm
second.
incredibly terrified right now with what I'm manifesting in my environment. There's another fire truck. So the second kid here is showing up to be more detail oriented. He was more suspicious.
Yeah.
He was more careful. And he was actually more willing to negotiate with the guy. And then the first one here, the first kid, he's showing up to be more independent.
Yes.
And undecided as well about the situation. Like, what's the truth here? He wasn't really sure. But he was also, he was more distracted by the firefighter. He came in offering multiple things at a time, which may have distracted him.
Okay.
I mean, that's all I see from what I can.
Okay.
From what I can see through the cards, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And so we have a word from our sponsor.
Yeah. We have one more here. Okay.
You will love Italian street bread. It's a good. Go to italianstreetbread.com and order use some today. Capiche?
Good people. It's so good. I'm gonna gain weight. I know it.
How much of it do you eat?
So, well, thank you so much for that. Was very interesting.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Next week we're gonna do. Aren't we? Is Barbara? Are we doing William?
I think I'm supposed to be there, but we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rosalia, thank you so much. How can people get in touch with Rosalia again, guys? She's a nutrition coach. She is a psychic. She does Reiki healing, astrologer, tarot reader, holistic nutritionist, cognitive specialist, a yoga teacher. She's excellent at that, personal trainer. She owns soulfoodfitness.ca, and book a session with her. This is how you book a session with her. She's also a writer, journalist. So if it weren't for you, Rosalia, I would never be where I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so I want to, and she's also a permanent part of the team. So I want to everybody welcome her, and we will see her next week along with Mr. Jason. And really looking forward to next. You're going to be here, right, Jason?
Yes, I am. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. Let me see, look at the dates. I think no. It's gonna be the weekend after that.
Oh, weekend after that. Great.
Yeah,
okay.
weekend after that.
Yeah.
But I will be. No. Yeah. I mean, yeah. The 20. Yeah, I'll be there. The Sunday, the last Sunday. Yep.
Okay, and so what we've got coming up, we've got Vib Verma, who is a master healer, is going to be on our show the end of this month. And then beginning of July, the beginning of July, guys, we're going to learn how to remote view.
Ooh. And Thursday, I believe you're reading a horse.
I am reading horses, and I am reading Bear the dog. And he had a little buddy. He still has a little buddy that hangs with him that has passed. Yep, reading the dog, reading the horses. And Melina will be on the show. She's a permanent part of our Mary Pet Psychic show on Thursdays at 9 p.m. But Rosalia, thank you. So grateful for you. So informative. Wow, I learned a lot. I never understood it before tonight.
And I'll be a little more on point when I feel I'm getting,
Cool.
Right. Yeah,
I know nothing about him, so I know nothing about him, so that was a risk.
And you had a lot of people saying, "Wow, this was an awesome show, very informative. Thank you so much."
But I think honestly, though, that's a good thing to come from. Like you didn't know anything about him. You know what I mean? You're kind of putting in what it's like you're not putting your preconceived notions on the reading.
Yeah, objective, exactly.
Yeah, you're very objective. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I just, I don't even know who the Prime Minister of Canada now is. I just know it's not Justin Trudeau.
I don't know him either. I haven't really.
I can see Canada from my house, eh? I'm right in the river. It's like 2 miles away.
Oh yeah,
I can see Alaska.
Well, I'm at my parents right now, literally in the Detroit River.
Oh, wow.
So we're right by Amherstburg.
Oh, I don't know where that is.
I saw the ones there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, everyone, we're over time. Oh, it's 1:11.
Woo!
So,
all right.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, and we'll see you soon. All right. Everyone, have a great night.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Hold up. Let me end it.